66.
Season 1 of The Bad Batch ended just a few weeks ago. I enjoyed it a lot, but not nearly as much as I wanted to. It had some really amazing episodes, and it also had some really dull ones. In this video, I am going to be comparing the episodes Devil's Deal and War Mantle. First, I'll start with Devil's Deal. This was my least favorite episode of the season. When I say that, I am not saying that the episode was bad, I am just saying that I didn't enjoy it as much as the others. In this episode, the Empire tries and succeeds in taking control of Ryloth. In the process, they indirectly create a rebellion. This episode deals heavily with politics, which is a huge part of Star Wars. The politics are very interesting, but it gets dull after a while. This episode wasn't bad, but I had one main complaint with it. My complaint is that the Bad Batch doesn't actually show up until about halfway through the episode, and when they finally do, they only have a few minutes of screen time. Excluding the main characters from their own show doesn't automatically make an episode bad, but in this case, I felt that it was. Although there were many things I didn't like, I absolutely loved visuals. This episode was beautiful. Overall, I found this episode enjoyable, but without the Bad Batch, it was lacking compared to the others. After checking reviews, I saw that some people did really enjoy this episode, so if you liked this episode, comment down below why you liked it. Now, I will talk about my favorite episode of Season 1, War Mantle. In this episode, the Bad Batch is to rescue a clone trooper from the planet Darrow. While rescuing the clone, the Bad Batch discover that the Empire plans to shut down all cloning facilities, and eventually, go from a clone army to a non-clone army. What really made this episode shine for me was the ending. At the end, Hunter falls out of the ship, and is captured by Crosshair and his soldiers. This episode was great for a lot of reasons. First, this episode gives us a look into what happened to clones after the rise of the Empire. Also, I love the TK troopers in this episode. Their armor shows a midpoint between their transition from clone troopers to stormtroopers. I found it really cool. And of course, the cliffhanger ending was really exciting. This episode kept me on edge at all times, as compared to Devil's Deal, which kept me fairly bored throughout. In conclusion, The Bad Batch Season 1 was pretty good, but it could have been better. There were a lot of episodes that felt pretty boring and mundane, but there were also a lot of episodes that were thrilling and exciting. Even though there were some episodes I didn't like, I still loved Bad Batch. If there was anything I would change for Season 2, it would be to shift the focus from Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega, to Tech and Echo. I felt that they were very underused, and that they barely had any impact on the show. Hopefully we see more of them in the future. That is all for this video. If you haven't already, please watch The Bad Batch. If you've already seen it, feel free to watch some of my other videos. Until next time, bye.